Yo YouTube, what's poppin'? It's your boy Hayden back here putting another video on the best podcast in the world. I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts MG Naz and Black Hub. How you doing today, fellas?
I'm doing all right, I guess. Just enjoying some NBA. You got the Suns and Warriors at the time of this recording. Obviously, it's
How's
gonna be
that
out a
game?
day later, but the game's good. So,
Who's
hey,
winning it
it's a
right
good
now?
day.
I'm
Uh,
doing good.
go.
Just as good as you can.
Yes, you feeling great? You feeling black?
You won't
Dude,
get
it's
canceled for
hot.
that. We're not taking that out, so you might as well move on.
Yeah, but let's move on. I'm the one editing, so I can actually take it out if I want to. But will I? No. But, fellas, we're not joined by Isaiah. If you guys do not know, Isaiah will not be joining us on the midweek episodes because he is too busy with work, if you haven't already. And I am. This is the second episode of our Wednesdays. The second one we actually did. MG, want to tell me about that headband you got? Because I know a couple of days
Phillies
ago.
fanatic is the Phillies mascot, and this is the headband that was created after him.
Really? That is cool. B-Hub's wearing ugly ass hat, and I'm wearing the best outfit with the Packers hat and the Packers sweaty.
I'm just saying, all your sports teams are alike. They can barely win.
Hey, the Bucks just
And
won it all. Something you have not seen in your life. Neither has MG.
seen the
I saw
Celtics
this team
title,
multiple
idiot.
times.
BM never saw it.
Yes, he did. Oh my god.
B-Hub,
Okay, listen,
B-Hub,
because Hayden
okay,
is
no.
literally he doesn't use his brain. I don't care.
We'll
Let's move
save
on.
the
Let's
weird
just move
takes
on.
for
Let's just
later.
move on. Can we please move on? Let's go.
Yes, let's move on. Let's start off with the something we really don't talk about. Isaiah's going to kill us because we're talking about this without him. Let's talk about the MLB. B-Hub, MG, you guys are more MLB experts than I am. B-Hub's more of an expert, I would say, MG, than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, B-Hub, you want to break down what is happening in the MLB free agency and tell me, are my Brewers doing nothing or are they just disappointing like usual?
So the Brewers are doing nothing as usual. They
Not
just
surprised.
recently lost some pieces. They lost
Escobar.
Eduardo Escobar to the Mets. A pretty good contract for the Mets. The Mets got Max Scherzer on the highest paid per year contract of all time, and they also got someone else, but I forgot his name, which sucks. They got Starling Marte. There we go. 4
Mhm.
years, $78 million. And out of nowhere, the Texas Rangers are signing every major player in free agency. They've spent over $550 million in just 2 days. They got Corey Seager. They got John Gray, who's probably the most underrated signing in the MLB because he played in Coors Field, which is a hitting ballpark. And they also got Marcus Semien, who almost won MVP last year, playing
Yep.
from Toronto.
Wow.
So that's the main things from Texas. And also, Robbie Ray, the Cy Young winner, went to the Seattle Mariners.
It's not the best Cy Young winner.
I'm just trying to break it down, man.
I know, but I just had to get it out there that Corbin Burton's better.
But the Toronto Blue Jays didn't lose anyone. They pretty much just refilled having Robbie Ray because they got Kevin Gausman, pretty much around the same contracts, which is pretty good. So that's pretty much the main things that happen. We don't know what's going on with Chris Bryant right now. We don't know what's going on with Carlos Correa. The Tigers got Javier Baez, which I did not expect. I thought Correa would go back there because their former manager used to be AJ Finch, the connection. But Javier Baez to Detroit's pretty good. But sometimes when he swings the bat, you're just like, is this he doesn't look like a good baseball player.
Yeah.
But he will be very good there for 6 years. I think he can opt out after 3 years, though. So that's interesting to look out for.
Mhm.
And let's see what the Dodgers do because they're losing a lot of pieces.
They are, from what I've been hearing. I've been hearing some Dodgers called. MG, how do you feel about MLB free agency?
The Phillies lost Hector Neris, who is their all-time leader in strikeouts for a reliever. But he did give heart attacks to a lot of the Philly fans. So, I mean, it's a loss, but it isn't. The Phillies are, I believe, gaining a lot of interest in Chris Bryant, which
Please take him.
is interesting.
I do not want to return to Chicago.
Obviously, I would like to have Trevor Story on the Phillies roster. And if we can't get either of those, I would also like to have Nick Castellanos from the Cincinnati Reds. I would like to have him on the roster. But if the Phillies do get Chris Bryant, if those reports are heating up, I mean that's cool. That's cool. I mean, Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant, they're friends, so it's gonna be a lot of familiarity in the lineup. So that'd be interesting, man.
I think
And it's already adding to a nice roster, especially hitting wise. I feel like the Phillies don't have a bad roster. You got Harper, you got Reese Hoskins, Real Mutsel's still a good player. So you got a lot of if you add some of these good players in free agency, some of these good hitters to add to that lineup, and then get a little bit more security in the pitching department, I think it's going to be all right. I mean, we got Zach Wheeler, who's a Cy Young winner. Aaron Nola, who not the greatest season to his standards last year, but he's still a great pitcher, and he can have a dominant game at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's talent on this Phillies roster. I just want to see them add to it and build around it. And you got to build around the NL MVP. I mean, you just have to. After the last 2 months of the season, Bryce Harper was just on fire, and he's gonna take this into next season, and he's gonna do something. But something about the Dodgers, though. Apparently, if Freddie Freeman was to leave, the Braves, the Dodgers would be interested because they have plans to move Max Muncy to second base, and they would place Freddie Freeman at first base.
Thing is, if you're Freddie,
and I believe he's a hometown kid too.
He is.
Yeah.
But if you're Freddie, do you leave the team that just won it all?
Well, yeah, you can do that because in baseball, this is probably the sport where usually back-to-backs don't happen. Back-to-back championships happen the least in baseball out of any sport. I mean, unless you're like dominant, then you'll get like a back-to-back run, or you might win 2 out of the 3 years or something like that. But
like what people thought
I don't think the Braves would win it next year per se. So if you're Freddie Freeman, you play on the Dodgers roster. If they can make that fit well, you got Trey Turner at shortstop. You got second base Max Muncy. First base, you got Freddie Freeman. And then at third, you got Justin Turner. Or, if you want to get younger at third base, you can also find a way to do that. But the Dodgers, I mean, they definitely were, I guess you could say, favorites to win a World Series before last season. But, I mean, they are losing people, and that's going to be interesting because Clayton Kershaw is also looking like he could possibly be gone. So a lot of things going on with the Dodgers there too.
Interesting. Anything else you guys want to add to the MLB before we move on?
MLB wise, the only thing I have to add is Trevor Story's going to the Phillies.
I have one more thing to add before. I just want to say I'm sorry, MG, for ever trying to say Christian Yelich is better than Bryce Harper. He is not.
Oh.
Just like that'll take you took saying Ben Simmons was better than Chris Middleton last year. Okay.
Hey, he took that L. You just keep making L's for yourself.
Yeah, I want to say.
Now
you
I want to do something different. Something we never done on the BIN podcast before. Talk about a certain sports we never talk about. We all can agree we all love college football, right?
For the most part, sure.
All of our teams are not in the big, in a conference championship game, right?
Nope.
So I was thinking, let's talk about how we feel based on our team's performance this year. Whether we expected it, whether we are disappointed in it, or whether we're happy over it. Let's start off with Mr. B-Hub, since he is not in the Big Ten and weird like that. So we're going to start
ACC, baby.
Big Ten better. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm pretty content.
Wait. We should probably do this. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we should probably introduce our teams when you go. Just so you know, because some people are going to be confused about what team you are. So,
hi, I'm B-Hub. My team is the University of Virginia. Is that good?
Yeah.
Because I am from Virginia, so that's why I like them. Because I don't know why. And our team is not very good at football most of the time. We're pretty much a college basketball team, even though we lost to Navy. No reason to talk about it. But I'm pretty content with this season. We found out we had a very good quarterback this year. lefty guy, Brennan Armstrong, who I believe was top 3 in yards and touchdowns in the whole college football season. So it's going to be good to get him back in his college senior season.
Oh,
So I want to see what we do
senior.
next year because we have some pretty good recruits coming in.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah, we have a few 4-stars. I think we even got a 5-star, which is surprising.
Interesting.
Now, question. What was your record this season?
Yes.
We went a staggering
1-5.
6-6, baby.
500.
500.
Hey, that's a bowl game.
That's a bowl game.
And we would have been 7-5 if Brennan Armstrong didn't get hurt.
Yep. But what else would you like to add, B-Hub? Or is that it?
Our college is the worst in football. I mean, our college defense is worse than football.
And
our
having
offense
a shit
carry us
defense.
every week.
Couldn't be me.
Brennan Armstrong for Heisman next year.
Hey,
Next.
imagine not having a top 3 defense. Couldn't be me in all of college football.
You're Wisconsin. You're supposed to be a good team.
Now I'll go on, since we have just told my team. I am a Wisconsin Badgers fan, born and raised Badger fan for football. Fuck their basketball program. They can go fuck
Go
themselves.
Cavaliers.
Boy. No, but I have 2 different colleges. For football, I am a Wisconsin fan, and for basketball, I am a Marquette fan. It's just that Marquette does not have a football program. Marquette, like, they have a basketball program, not a football program, but I'm a Wisconsin Badger fan. And this year, I expected us to go to the Big Ten championship game. Didn't happen. Go fuck yourself, Paul Chris. I think this year was underwhelming for me, because I expected us to be the best team in the Big Ten West, not the East team. I was actually Ohio State, and I'm so glad they flopped. MG can agree with me on that one. But it's just disappointing to see how every year Paul Chris and gets our hopes up, whether he takes us to the Big Ten championship game, chokes to Penn State, chokes to Ohio State, or takes us to the Rose Bowl, chokes to Oregon, chokes to like these bigger known teams. And it's just starting to piss me off over it. But something I love to see is how we had a redshirt freshman who I went to high school with, who is 17, who graduated with me, Braylon Allen. He has taken a huge step up for us, and I'm happy to see his develop good, because he looks like he's going to be the next great Wisconsin back. And let me name off some great Wisconsin backs for you. Ron Dane, Jonathan Taylor, who's tearing up the NFL. You got Melvin Gordon, some college legends, Monte Ball, Corey Kmet, James White, a Super Bowl champion, should have been Super Bowl MVP. Corey Kmet, a Super Bowl champion.
He's on the Cowboys.
Hey, I got you. But like, we produce great running backs, and seeing him take the next step to be that next great Wisconsin running back puts a smile on our face. And I love that transfer we got from Clemson and Ches Malucci. Him and Allen makes a great 1-2 punch for us. And next year, I'm very excited. I think Graham Mertz will take the step next year, because he has shown the signs to being a decent quarterback. And that's all I'm asking for. All we need is a decent quarterback who, if we need to throw on a 3rd and short, can get us it. Who we need on a quick play can get us it. That's all I'm asking for, because this team is based off of the run, and that's what it needs to be. And I'm going to let MG go. And I just want to say, fuck Minnesota, your piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. The state of Minnesota is overrated as a fuck, and no one loves you. Okay, go ahead, MG.
Well, everyone knows that I'm a Penn State fan because I stream them here and there. So everyone already knows that. But, I mean, my overall thoughts on this season is we, for the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season, definitely exceeded expectations. I mean, when you look at it, we started off 6-0. And that's pretty much what you asked for. But, you know, there in the middle of the season, Sean Clifford cannot stay consistently healthy. On 2 different occasions, we had to play with a backup quarterback. One against Rutgers, which we still won the game, and the other one against Iowa, which was the worst quarterback play by a backup, and Taquan Roberson. And no disrespect to him, he probably is a good guy, but he just did not play well. And that Iowa loss just kind of deflated the season. We did keep it competitive with Ohio State. Um, but at the end of the day, all I asked for Penn State this year was to be competitive. I knew that we weren't gonna make the playoffs this season. Starting off 6-0 definitely was very convincing, but um, I like we did get some good wins though. We got a good win versus Wisconsin. We got a good win versus Auburn. And we beat a few Big Ten opponents. We beat Rutgers, which I mean it's Rutgers. We're gonna beat them. But we have some solid wins on the record. Sean Clifford definitely got better as a quarterback, and if he does come back next year and takes his last year option, then I mean I'd be interested to see his progression. But the star of the show is Jahan Dotson. I mean, this guy is just
Green
an
Bay
animal.
draft him!
He's one of the best receivers in the nation.
And we
He's
lost. And we lost MG. This is going so great right now. But until MG comes back, I'm going to talk about Wisconsin. I forgot to mention one thing. Their record for this year was 8-4, and we are supposed to make a bowl game. I hope it's a good one, and I hope we play for James B. Hope he can shut the fuck up because Wisconsin is fucking better. Yes. And
there he is.
nope, he's so dead.
Oh, damn. But
yeah, MG is a huge Penn State fan, and I'm just saying Green Bay, please draft Jahan Dotson. He is a beast. Jahan Dotson's been tearing up. He's been making a name for why he is the best wideout in the Big Ten, possibly the whole league. Another very underrated wideout in the Big Ten is Josh Bell. Bell from Purdue has been tearing up. He has had a few 200 games. I know he had one versus Iowa. I believe he had one versus Ohio State, another big defense. Like, he's been proving it. He got shut down by Wisconsin. Haha, go fuck yourself, Purdue. But I'm just saying, like, there's great receivers in this Big Ten, and the fact that Jahan Dotson is one of the best, in my opinion, the best receiver in the Big Ten, and I said it, I know I'm going to get some Chris Olave fans or Garrett Wilson fans up in my against me, but I think Jahan Dotson's best. I see him kill us. I've seen all these receivers kill my team, but I think Jahan Dotson is the best in the Big Ten. MG, go ahead now that you're back.
But yeah, I mean, we Penn State. I think the Penn State's gonna have such a good year next year. You do got a good. If Sean Clifford decides not to stay, we do have a quarterback ready to replace him. We got a good wide receiver coming in also, Mekhi Flowers, who was a Pennsylvania native. And we got a lot of other great recruits.
Right? You still got Washington staying another year?
He's definitely gonna break out next year.
He should. Dotson gone.
Parker Washington is probably gonna be the wide receiver one. And I'm happy about it because this year, on time and time again, he showed up. He had a great catch in our last game of the regular season against Michigan State. Also, too, he continuously shows up on third down and high leverage moments, and that's what you love to see. So, those are the guys who've been performing well this year for Penn State. But I mean, my expectations before the season was for them to probably win like 9 or 10 games, and make a bowl game. We still made a bowl game, but I do think that some of the injuries cost us. We had a key defensive injury. Our best defensive tackle, PJ Mustipher, was ruled out after we beat Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So that deflated the defense. So just too many injuries came at the wrong time, and we lost our momentum. That's basically what happened this season.
Okay. I want to say this. Let's talk about highlight a few conference championship games before we move on. We'll do a playoff preview for college football next week on the Tuesday episode because the college football finals rankings should be out. As of right now, we got a few conference championship games. Of course, let's start off with the Big Ten one. You got Michigan versus Iowa. I'll go first. I have Michigan winning here, and let me tell you why, folks, because Iowa is a fraud-ass team. I see this Iowa team. I know this Iowa team. We face them. We kick their ass. All you gotta do is just punch them in the mouth, and you win. They're not good. Their offense is very shit. This Michigan defense is going to have a field day. That Iowa defense If you can keep them on their toes, get that ground game going, you're going to have a fun day. And this Michigan team will get the ground game going. Because look what they did versus Ohio State. I believe their running back had like over 100 yards, close to 200, I believe. Like, they played great, Michigan did. If they play even at 10% of how they did versus Ohio State, they'll win. Because Iowa was not a good team. Now, I want to get this clear. Michigan does give me a little concern heading into this because their biggest win is Ohio State. That's a big win. I want to get that clear. But you've seen them struggle in some games. They lost to Michigan State, who got blown out by Ohio State. Like, Michigan, they seem like an inconsistent team for me. But I don't think that inconsistency will hit here. I think that'll hit in the playoffs when they're in the moment. I have winning here Michigan with a final score of 35-14. MG, who do you have?
I have Michigan winning the game. They're going to pick up off the momentum they had last week, and they'll win 35-24.
MG, we're doing something for this game, right? You want to announce it?
Sure. We'll probably be live for this game. That game starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. So if y'all want to be there, we'll probably be live a few minutes before the start time. So if y'all want to be there, hey, come hang out. But yeah, I have Michigan winning this game.
Okay. B-Hub?
I do too. Momentum's a big thing in college football. It's about a team who has most momentum going into these big games. But don't count Iowa because there's a factor of there's the Harbaugh effect. Mm-hmm. He normally doesn't show up during big games, but I expect them to win this game.
But wait, didn't he show up versus Ohio State?
But championship games, Harbaugh doesn't show up.
He's been there for so many years, and how many times has he made the playoffs? That's my point.
Championship.
This is
his first Big Ten championship.
Biggest game of his college football career.
All right.
And I expect him to win. I expect it to be kind of close. I'll see it as a 31-27 game.
All right. That game will be Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 8 o'clock for your East Coast time, and for you West Coast weirdos, you got 5 o'clock. Now, let's head off to a great game that's going to be Friday night. You got the Oregon Ducks, hosted by Utah. Oregon versus Utah. We had this game in the beginning of the year. The Utes did beat the Ducks earlier in the year, handing them their second loss in the season. MG, who do you have winning?
I have Oregon winning. This is an interesting game because both teams match up well against each other. Utah's not to sleep on, but I think Oregon, they're the 10th ranked team.
Yep.
I don't know that they'll make the playoffs. I believe they have 2 losses.
They're not
making it. They're 10-2.
I'm saying this.
Utah,
the only way they're making it is if Michigan loses, Cincinnati loses, Oklahoma State loses, Notre Dame loses. That's the only way they're making it.
Yeah, and I just think, I don't know, man, Oregon, they're not a horrible team this season. They definitely can get the job done, and I think they will. But Utah will make this a close game. They will make this very, very competitive, and that's all you can ask from Utah. But I mean, Oregon, they got one of the best defensive players. They got the best defensive player in the nation, Kayvon Thibodeau. He is a game changer, and when it matters the most,
number one pick.
Utah has to drive down the field. Kayvon Thibodeau can change the game.
Yeah, he can. And
now, also, Utah is 2.5-point favorites in this game.
Really?
Yep. Even though they're ranked lower.
Beat them.
The reason why because they beat Oregon earlier. That's probably why they're favorites.
Now, this could also change because the betting lines change throughout the week. But right now, they are opening as 2.5 favorites.
Now. B-Up, did you say your opinion on this game? I can't remember.
No, he did not.
No.
B-Up, who do you have winning here?
Game. This is a tough game to choose between because earlier in the season, Utah beat Oregon. But since then, Oregon's been a better team, in my opinion. That's why they're number 10 overall. It's number 10 versus number 14. I'm going to go with Oregon. They get the game back. They win it. This could be a game that goes into overtime, honestly.
Oh, I would love that. I just want to say,
Maybe.
who will JB choose? A good friend of ours, he is an Oregon Ducks fan and a Utah Utes fan. Does he?
I'm going to pick Oregon to win. I'm going to pick them 35-31.
Okay. And now let's head into what people are going to say is going to be the best championship game. We have the number 1 ranked team. Number 1 ranked defense. Not the best defense, cough. But the number 1 ranked defense and the number 1 ranked team in the country. The Georgia Bulldogs. They are them dogs. Facing off the Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, as people say down there. Now, the thing about this game, I just want to say, this is what people are saying Georgia's biggest opponent this year. This is their toughest opponent because already before they played, people bring up, they play people like Clemson and shit. But this team's not giving some other teams like Arkansas credit, some other teams like Auburn, who gave Alabama a tough time, credit, Kentucky, who gave them credit. They're not giving some of these teams credit. And I think that's disrespect on Georgia's name. Now, right here, who do I have? I have the Georgia Bulldogs winning. Actually winning an SEC championship. Not to Alabama, actually winning it. Versus their biggest rival, people will say. The Alabama Crimson Tide. I think this will be a great game. I think Georgia's defense is going to smother the Alabama, whose only loss is to the Texas Tech, who's not even
Texas
ranked.
A&M.
Fuck, A&M. There's so many Texas.
You did all that and you said the wrong team.
Shut up. There's so many Texas teams. Okay? Leave me alone. But their only loss is Texas A&M. The only reason why they lost was because of Chris Middleton was there with the NBA trophy. I'm just saying. But I don't know. This Alabama team's not showing me dominant Alabama teams in the past. Yes, do they have a Heisman front runner and Bryce Young? Yes. Do they have a good offense? Yeah. Do they have a good defense? No, they don't. And that's why I have Georgia winning here, because defenses win championships. That is a tale as old as time. Look at Tampa Bay last year. Look at the Bucs defense in the conference finals. Look at the '85 Bears. Look at the Steel Curtain. Defense is a reason why teams win. So that's why I have the Alabama Crimson Tide taking the fat out. B-Hub, who do you have winning here?
This is a tough choice.
It is.
Because Georgia's looked like the best team all season.
They have.
And Alabama is not they look as beatable as we've ever seen them in the last 10 to 15 years.
Penn State could beat them, I feel.
Alabama?
Mm-hmm. If you're offense right now, if you face them, I can see you beating them.
This is tough. But you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb.
You're going Bama?
I'm going to go Bama. I think this will be the Bryce Young game. Now, it will probably be one of the most memorable games in the college football season.
This is going to be the game that secures him the Heisman?
I believe so.
I like it, and I just broke a candle.
Why not do it against the best team all season?
I broke a candle, and now I got glass all over me.
Well, sucks to suck.
Look at that.
Imagine being you.
And with that being said, I'm going to take Alabama to lose this game.
How about say
because I just think this is Georgia's championship. This is Georgia's SEC championship. This is just all Georgia this season. They don't have the most flashiest offense, but they have the best defense in the country. And with their offense being complementary, they have a good wide receiver who is a great wide receiver one for their team.
You want to say
I just know
because he's not getting the respect he deserves, I feel.
Oh, it's George Pickens.
Thank you.
I mean, the guy has been good, and when you look at Georgia, man, they're just dominant, and they know how to win football games this year. and they have a damn good head coach. And I think Nick Saban, this is definitely not his best team. Um, Even though he still has a Heisman winner, which I mean, how many times is Nick Saban gonna have a Heisman winner?
So many
But
times.
at the end of the day, is Georgia's just more dominant than Alabama this year. Alabama is so vulnerable, and they almost lost to Auburn, which no disrespect to Auburn, but they weren't a great team this season. So I'm gonna have Georgia winning. I'm gonna have them winning 30-20, winning by 10 points.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Now,
I didn't get to do my score real quick, but I'm going to say it's going to be 28-24.
I have 35-31 in OT, Georgia. Now let's head into our final segment of the college football, and then we'll move on to some professional football. I just want to show some college football love since we really don't talk about it with Isaiah here, and I get why he's really not into college football. College basketball is more popular out over by him compared to over here where it's very popular. Let's talk about the Heismans, and who do we have winning the Heismans? B-Hub, let's have you go. Because you had what
Well,
people were saying a Heisman player.
I pretty much just said it. I feel like it's going to be Bryce Young. I feel like he'll win it after this Georgia game.
Okay, MG.
It's gonna be Bryce Young, and even if win or lose this Georgia game, he's been pretty good this season. And DJ Stroud losing against Michigan, not even making it to the Big Ten championship, that was very, very huge. Even though he didn't play horrible, it's not like everything was on him. But they're gonna look at their candidates, and at least if Bryce Love loses against Georgia, at least he made it to the conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
To where Ohio State did not even make it to their conference championship. But CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are both good. I just think that Bryce Young, I think he's gonna get it. And you could argue that any guy deserves it over any guy, but I'm just gonna give it to Bryce Young.
It's a pretty tight race this year.
It is. I'm going to go someone very underrated who actually deserves it. Someone who really hasn't gotten love.
I already know he's going to.
The man just got his biggest win of his college career. Let's show some love to the defense, shall we, and go Aiden Hutchinson. Out of Michigan. He has total of 13 sacks, setting a Michigan defensive record. This man's been playing outstanding football. He had 4 sacks versus Ohio State alone, and this man deserves it. I don't know. People are not showing the defensive players respect that they deserve, and I believe the last person to win the Heisman for a defensive player was Charles Woodson, former Michigan.
And I have something I can add to this.
Go ahead.
It's tough for defensive players to win because one year Terrell Suggs broke the sack record and wasn't even nominated. So
I'm just saying they should
take that as you will.
I'm just saying he's my Heisman. Another player who was an underrated choice until he got his ass kicked by Ohio State was Kenneth Walker from Michigan State. I love me some running backs in college. I'm just saying Melvin Gordon should have won it over Mr. What's his fucking face? Oh, yeah, bust in the NFL, Cam Newton.
Bust in the NFL?
Right now, yeah.
They were playing around the same time?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they were. So, B-Hub, Cam Newton's a bust.
No, but...
It's not like it was pretty much the whole Panthers organization for 9 years.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I compared to Melvin Gordon.
Was it when Gordon was a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense because Newton transferred.
Yeah.
But
Gordon
Cam Newton's a bust.
Is that your take of the day?
No. Is that your take?
No, I got a take, and we're going to start heading towards that take. But we're going to switch topics. I just want to say it was fun talking college football for once on here. I would love Isaiah to get into it. Then all 4 of us to talk college football because us 3, we could talk college football for hours. Let's be honest.
I'm just glad my team's competitive.
Yeah, me and MG are used to that. MG, I don't want to hear anything about the Big Ten championship game in 2016.
Cool.
But let's change it to some pro football. What an interesting week it was. I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Rams that guy? Are they that team?
I would like to go first because I was discussing this earlier. First off, I want to get one thing clear that Matthew Stafford is not healthy. He is playing on him and Baker Mayfield are playing on just crazy injuries. Baker Mayfield's playing on worse injuries, but Matthew Stafford's clearly not healthy. Even with him not being healthy, he still managed to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Impressive, might I add. This man has had I believe, a great background of playing through injuries. Look at 2008,
Yep.
where he was single-handedly his rookie year beating the Browns after he took a mad hit, like messing up his throwing arm, I believe it was, or his
Yes.
messing up
So
and throwing the game-winning touchdown that next play.
Stafford is obviously hurt,
He
but
deserved respect.
the Rams are not frauds yet, or we cannot say that they're out of it yet. Because there was still improvements in the game versus the Green Bay Packers, and
OBJ was a big one.
the improvement is OBJ. I know it was just one play, but you just see that you see confidence growing. That Stafford was able to have the confidence to throw the deep ball to OBJ. I mean, if OBJ can just do that, things like that, 50-yard touchdowns like that, I mean, that's going to open up things for this Rams offense. And the thing is, Cooper Kupp's still the number one receiver in every statistical categories this year in the NFL, and
Devontae too.
he's been performing like NFL Offensive Player of the Year candidate. And he would be my pick right now for Offensive Player of the Year. So, and then they have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, two of the most dominant players at their position. And I know Hayden's gonna say, "Well, Rodgers went 7 for 7 against him." Well, the thing is, it is Aaron Rodgers,
And outran him with
and,
an injured toe.
and okay, well, that's fine. But it is Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers has done that to many elite corners. But the bottom line is Jalen Ramsey is still the clear-cut number one corner in the NFL. There will still plays that will go unnoticed. There was still plays that will go unnoticed. It was a few plays where he got the better of Devontae, where Devontae got the better of him. So, but the thing is, the conversation about the Rams, I still think they're a great team because they have talent. They got the best corner in the NFL. They got one of the best defensive players of this generation. Two, actually,
I
you
was
could
gonna
say that
say, you
one of the
gonna
best
say two?
two. You got Von Miller, who still can get pressure, and then you got Aaron Donald, who's just that he's Aaron Donald. So
He is that
Rams,
guy
they're not
too.
done yet. They're not done yet. I think that the Rams can still definitely make a deep playoff run. Stafford just got to get healthy, and as him and OBJ get connected more and more, it's going to be a elite team in the LA Rams. So they just got to keep playing. Hopefully, Stafford gets healthy soon.
I like that. MG put the nail in the coffin. Basically, the one thing I'm worried about is the rest of that Rams secondary. Besides Jalen Ramsey, they later out Randall Cobb to get 90 yards before he went down injured, and he went injured in the third quarter. So I'm worried about the rest of that secondary. That's my biggest thing with this Ram defense. I'm worried about. I'm not worried about their O-line. Their D-line, I just want to say Aaron Donald. We got pancake by our backup left tackle. But no, this Rams team is a great team. I'm also kind of worried about that middle linebacker spot for them. That's the only two holes I noticed on this Rams defense. This Rams defense is still a dominant Super Bowl contending defense, and I think the thing is that you just gotta wait for Stafford to get healthy. OBJ is still learning the offense. He's not fully comfortable yet. You can still see that with some frustrations. But I want to say this Rams team is not frauds yet. I want to see how the rest of the season goes. Let's say the Niners do get a little... If they take the division, I will be a little worried. I mean, not the division. Take the wild card spot over them. I totally forgot the Cardinals were a thing. But that division, that wild card race in that division is interesting between the Rams and the Niners. 1 game difference, guys. 1 game. And
Yeah.
so I think that's going to come down, and I'm just saying I'm happy where I'm at, and we'll do something else. where we each break down how we feel about our team's performance and how we're going to the rest of the season. But, B-Up, how do you feel about this?
Y'all both pretty much said it perfectly. I'm just going to add something else to it. It's crazy. You trade for a guy like Von Miller, and ever since you get him, you're 0-3. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. You're 0-3 from trading for Von Miller. And if you saw that quote he had about waking up like 4-4 and waking up like 8-2, now they're like they lost 3 in a row. So I wouldn't say they're frauds just yet. Just got to get them time. They're not even fully healthy.
They're not. They would never be fully healthy this year because they did lose Robert Woods.
Oh, as healthy as they can.
Yeah, but now let's move on to our first team. MG, how do you feel about the Eagles here and heading into the future?
The Eagles took a big loss to the New York Giants. It was definitely a tough, hard-fought division game. The biggest takeaways from this game is that Jalen Hurts had many times where he was staring down one receiver and many times where he tried to play hero ball, and it caused him to throw 2 interceptions in the red zone. But the thing is with the Eagles is that this is one of those losses where you just got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to be like, we played bad as an offense, because the defense played pretty good. But the offense has to look itself and be like, all right, we played bad. The defense only allowed 13 points, which is good in today's NFL. So Jalen Hurts, just go through your reads and don't force the ball. If nothing's there, get out the pocket, use your legs, or throw the ball away. That's what I'll have to say about that. And Jalen Reagor, he has to be cut. It's it. And time again, Jalen Reagor just either doesn't show up, does not make a mark at all in the game, or he just messes something up. Like it's crazy, man. He dropped 2 potential game-winning touchdowns, and even if he caught one of them, I mean, the whole story of the game and everything I'm talking about will be completely different. But Jalen Reagor he had a weird obsession of dropping the football when it mattered the most, and it's just showing more and more that we should just get rid of him. And that's another pick by Howie Roseman that just didn't work at the wide receiver position. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was one of them. And J.J. Arcega-Whiteside looks better than him right now. And J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is being used as a blocker receiver. But J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is getting more targets and catches than him now. I mean, it's just insane, bro. I've tried to keep hope because Jalen Reagor is a young player, but I'm just losing hope. And I just honestly think the guy is not good at NFL level. He was a great college player, very explosive and fun to watch, but right now he's not showing the qualities of being a great NFL player. And that's just the biggest thing. But the defense came out and had a good game, so allowing only 13 points. And every time the Giants did drive down the field, the next drive, the defense will get a stop. So that's what I like to see. And I like to see that more. And we kept Saquon Barkley in check for the most part. So that's what you like to see.
Okay. B-Hub. Now let's talk about your team. How do you feel about the Cowboys at this point in the season and moving forward?
So I'm pretty content with the record right now because I had us finishing 9-8, which is looking pretty good so far. But as the last few weeks unfolded, it's been terrible because recently our head coach got COVID. Amari Cooper got COVID. Our defensive tackle just got suspended for a week for throwing a punch. And we just came off losing against a team that we shouldn't lose to because they're going through a lot of turmoil. They fired their head coach. Their quarterback isn't happy. They had to deal with Henry Ruggs going to jail. They had to deal with cutting Damian Arnett. There was just no reason to lose that game. And the way we lost that game is the most annoying part. I don't get how Anthony Brown, if he has already 2 PIs, there's no reason he should still be in the game. There's no reason he should get 4 or 5 PIs. Put Jordan Lewis on someone else. Bring in one of the young people like Kelvin Joseph. Let them have some experience. But the only thing I gotta say is I'm happy we're 7-4, but we should honestly be 8-3.
The bottom line is Anthony Brown, all of his pass interference are him not getting his head turned around. He's always in good position.
Where's the ball?
Always in good position. He's always staying downfield with the receivers. He doesn't get burnt. It's just that that you can't. If you don't turn your head and you make contact with the receiver without turning your head, that is a pass interference because the ref needs to see that you turn your head and you see the ball and that you're making the play on the ball. But if they don't see that, then if they see you not making a play on the ball and you making contact with the receiver, that's an easy PI call for them every time. And Anthony Brown has to know that. He has to know that. But hey, man, can you just do this against the Eagles a couple of times?
No,
It's all good.
no. I don't want to deal with another Dallas Cowboys collapse. I can't take
What do
it.
you
My
mean? What
heart
about
cannot take it.
2014? What about 2016? Soon to be 2021 when we win in the wild card round versus you.
I can't wait till Aaron Rodgers is gone when you deal with the quarterback.
Bro, what do you mean? It's going to be Jordan Love doing it to you.
Let's say, yeah, you think Hayden likes Aaron Rodgers? I keep trying to explain to people that Hayden does not want Rodgers on the Packers.
And now he's in love with him.
No.
Because he showed his foot. Anyways.
I am not in love with him over that. No,
I
stop
think Hayden has a foot
I
obsession.
hate you guys.
A foot fetish
I don't.
with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't. But anyways, I'm going to move on. I want to talk about the Packers and how I feel about them. I just want to say our run game is there. I love the 1-2 punch we have built. This is the 1-2 punch I've been waiting for my whole life as a Packer fan. Because if you guys do not know, I know is air game. Both of our running backs have 500 plus yards, showing there are a top two, number 2 running back duo behind Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. In my opinion, I think they're the second best, and name a better one than this. You can't. My point exactly. But this is a great 1-2 punch I've seen from them. I love seeing what I'm seeing from Yash. I'm going to butcher his last name. Niemer, our backup left tackle. I know I botched that so much. He has helped keep our O-line consistent with the injury of David Bakhtiari and now Elton Jenkins out for the year. I love what I'm seeing from Billy Turner, who is having a Pro Bowl season, who is just not getting the recognition he deserves. Shaw, Gary, Preston Smith, they have stepped up a lot with Mr. Zadarius Smith down. Campbell is playing great. He did get COVID today when we were recording this, but he should not miss any time because we are on our bye week, luckily. But that is good news for us for our bye week, knowing that we are not going to miss anyone due to COVID and sickness or nothing like that, which I'm happy about because we had our issues in the past with COVID this year. We also have our fair share of injuries. And also seeing how our cornerback, our secondary is stepping up with Kevin King, Eric Stokes, with Jair going down is impressing me. I hate Kevin King. MG, no, I hate Kevin King so much. He drives me insane. But I do got to give credit where credit is due. And Kevin King is having a bounce back year. Better. It's not his 2019 season where it was his best season, but it's not his worst season like 2020. If he can be like this, I would not mind signing him to a 2-year deal. Just let him ride out. Give us an option after 1 year to be like, hey, you're out. But I like what I'm seeing from our secondary. This team is showing me why it's the best team in the NFC right now. You got, of course, Devontae Adams, the best wideout in the NFL. You have a underrated wideout too, MVS, who's playing great. Randall Cobb's took a huge step up back with his prime quarterback he is used to, Aaron Rodgers, having 90 yards on one of the best defenses in the NFL. And I'm just proud of how I'm seeing this team, and I'm very excited to see how it goes. And fun fact, Matt LaFleur has not had a back-to-back loss. It's his head coach tenure with the Packers.
Okay, cool.
Now, it's that time of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where I make a stupid.
Welcome to Hayden's Bad Taste.
I'm saying this. Jonathan Taylor's the third best running back in the NFL.
This
Who's
season?
1 and 2? Tell us.
Right now. Number 1, Derrick Henry. Number 2, Nick Chubb. Number 3, Jonathan Taylor. Number 4, Dalvin Cook. Number 5, Zeke. Number 6, Alvin Kamara.
You're
What
wrong.
about,
Joe Mixon's better. Joe Mixon's better than Zeke this season.
Joe Mixon's better than Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, who is
I said Zeke this season. Use your ears,
Joe
asswipe.
Mixon. Oh, I thought you said Taylor. Fine, switch Mixon, but I'm just saying Taylor's the third best running back in the NFL right now. And next year he will have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry, and I'm dead serious by that.
I would disagree, but all right.
He's the only one I can see doing it.
That's fine, but
Yes, be up.
Derrick
Just
Henry.
say what you're thinking. Don't be afraid.
Oh, go ahead, B-Hub. You go ahead, B-Hub.
You show like you want to say some stuff.
So you have Nick Chubb at 2,
Mhm.
which I would put this season not at number 2.
All right.
This season alone.
This is overall, too, might I add.
Overall. What about CMC? What about Alvin Kamara?
CMC, I can't trust he's injured. Alvin Kamara's never had a 1,000-yard rushing attack season.
Well, hold on.
Look,
I thought you were talking about this
forget the
season. You're
point
talking about
about-
overall.
I'm talking overall.
Hold on.
Jonathan Taylor's number 3.
Overall. Oh,
Are you
hold
talking
on.
about just getting
No.
handoffs?
We don't reward guys for one good season. No. We don't do that over here.
Are you going to ignore his
no.
great season he has his rookie year as well?
Yeah, he had a good season, but we don't reward guys to put them in a top.
all-time
We don't
rushing.
put guys in top 3 tiers where they've only been top 3 for one season. No.
We need
See,
consistency.
overall,
We need consistency.
who is better? Christian McCaffrey is better overall.
I'm going Jonathan
Derrick Henry-
Taylor.
No.
That's
No.
stupid.
I have
know why?
gave CMC so many chances
Can I
this
tell
year,
you-
and I'm taking
Well-
Jonathan Taylor over CMC right now.
Well, see, here's where you're wrong, is because Jonathan Taylor and CMC, overall, because you're saying not just off of this season, you're talking about overall.
Overall.
And Christian McCaffrey is the better receiving back, and it's not close.
Yes, we give
And running, I just feel like there's people. I mean, I guess he is injured, but people just forget that Christian McCaffrey's a good runner. Like I feel like people just forget that. And when you talk about pure skill, McCaffrey is just so shifty. He got speed, the burst downfield. He can return kicks. He can receive the ball. He's just Christian McCaffrey's a freak of nature.
I want to say this.
He's a freak of nature, and he is a better overall running back than Jonathan Taylor. Now, if you're going off of this season, statistically, then sure. Statistically, Jonathan Taylor has had the better season, and that's fine. But overall, when you just ranking them based off of their skill, when you're ranking them based off of what they can do for a franchise, what they can do for a football team overall, there is no way, right now, at least, that Jonathan Taylor is a better overall running back than Christian McCaffrey. Skill-wise, no. Pure talent, no. Production, no. Production is Jonathan Taylor 1,000 running back, 1,000 receiving yards, 1,000 rush yards, and he can return kicks for you? No, I didn't think so.
Let me say something
Not only
else.
that, what's up, B-Hope?
Something people don't really talk about. Look at the offensive line. Jonathan Taylor runs behind. Give that
Quentin
offensive
Nelson.
line to Christian McCaffrey.
Quentin
See what he
Nelson,
can do.
the best guard in the world. Quentin Nelson, dog. Quentin Nelson is setting up these holes, bro. And I'm not saying I don't want to take that away from Taylor.
Kelly. Come on.
I don't want to take that away from Taylor because yes, he's still good.
He's a very good player, but he's not a CMC type of player.
Yeah, bro, skill and talent, bro, and product, bro. CMC is that guy. CMC is literally the only guy production-wise who can match what Derrick Henry does. Derrick Henry put up 2,000 all-purpose yards in a season, which was last year. Christian McCaffrey's the only other running back, and since Adrian Peterson and Derrick Henry to do that, who put up 2,000 all-purpose yards. Literally, McCaffrey's a machine, bro. He is a machine, and he had to play for the not disgraceful, but the not very good Carolina Panthers for the last 2 years, who hasn't been good since 2018, the last time they made the playoffs with Cam Newton. Like, it's no, bro. It's Christian McCaffrey. And then, hold on, because he said top 3 overall, right? Which means not only did he have him over Christian McCaffrey, but he had him over Alvin Kamara. He had him over... Did you have him over Dalvin Cook?
Yes.
You had him over Dalvin Cook. You had him over Joe Mixon overall. Which we can have that conversation, but, it's okay. It's all right.
All right.
Overall, Jonathan Taylor's a top 10 running back. Overall. But this
Taylor's
season, he's been great.
Overall, Taylor's top 5.
No,
Yes.
He's top 10. He's top 10 overall.
All right.
Top
Number 1,
he's
Derrick Henry. Number 2, CMC. Number 3, in my opinion, is Jonathan Taylor. Number 4, you have Mr. Dalvin Cook. Number 5,
what happened to Nick Chubb?
Number 5 is Nick Chubb.
Oh, it's like we talked to you for 2 minutes, then you switch your whole list.
Yo, Hayden, he just that.
You can't just keep
Number
changing it
6.
every time we do a
Number
debate.
6.
You switch it in the
Oh
end.
fuck! I got water on my pants. Oh fuck! That's cold.
And this is how he switches the topic.
No, but
But,
number 6,
like,
I have
how-
Alvin Kamara. Number 7, I have
He's
Ezekiel
not
Elliott.
number 6.
Number 8,
Come on
Aaron
now.
Jones. No, number 8, Joe Mixon. Number 9, Aaron Jones. Number 10, Austin Eckler. That's my top 10.
Yo, man, we were warned guys for being elite for one season.
Yes, BM.
Yo, bro. You had him over Dalvin Cook?
Might be a better
You had him over Dalvin Cook overall?
Yes.
I could say that.
He had him over Dalvin Cook, B-Hug? Dalvin Cook! Yo! What? Hayden, why you retarded, dog? What? Yo, I'm done, bro. I'm done.
They forget
I
about a person when they're hurt. I swear to God, they forget when they miss games.
Real quick, overall, because like I said, you don't reward guys for being elite for just one season. He was good last season, and Taylor's playing elite this year, but you don't get rewarded for being elite for one season. Last year, Dalvin Cook had. Last year, Dalvin Cook had 1,500 yards, buddy. The year before that, he had 1,100 yards, buddy. So overall, Dalvin Cook has been better than Jonathan Taylor. Skill-wise, you can have a really good debate, and I will probably put Dalvin Cook over Jonathan Taylor. And just because you're a Wisconsin fan, you're biased. He's one of your favorite, if not your favorite, Wisconsin player of all time. If not, he's definitely in your top 5. Just because he's from your college and you have some weird bias and fetish with him does not mean you have to be stupid. Bro, I love some players. I love Deshaun Jackson, but I'm not going to say he's better than Antonio Brown or Julio Jones all time. I love LaShawn McCoy, but I'm not going to say he's better than Adrian Peterson. It's just Hayden, when he loves certain players, he just has this weird biasness to him. And this is why we have the same conversation over and over and over again about him having bad takes, because you can tell as soon as he makes a take that he is biased towards that person. Every take, whether it was a good take or bad take, is based off of his biasness. Every take is off of his biasness. And the only time he makes a take that's not biased is when we have to have these kinds of conversations and he finally switches his take. But it's no way that he is better than Christian McCaffrey. He's not better overall than Dalvin Cook.
Yes, he is.
Definitely not overall better than Derrick Henry.
No, he is not.
No. Alvin Kamara, you can have a debate, and I will take Alvin Kamara overall over Jonathan Taylor.
The only thing Alvin Kamara has
Ezekiel
on
Elliott.
Taylor is...
You could even say Austin Eckler if you wanted to.
Overall, but Eckler, production-wise, Eckler is a good running back as well. Like,
he has over 1,000 yards this season overall and 14 touchdowns. He's a pass catcher and a running back.
Yep. And listen, bro.
And he has more talent with him on offense.
I respect Jonathan Taylor so much, bro, because I felt like he is the best running back, and he is the best running back in his draft class. But when people like Hayden go off of recency bias, and when people like Hayden go off of biasness because they love a player, this is what makes me go on rants and talk bad about a player like Jonathan Taylor that I don't want to do.
I like Jonathan Taylor. I like him, but you overrate him.
He's a
very good running back, but he's not the most
ruins the hype
talented
of
overall.
I have another take.
Oh my God!
Oh, I bet you do.
Braylon Allen will be the best running back in the Big Ten next year.
Fun. Trayvon Henderson's better.
Cap.
End of the story.
Can the Michigan State guy come back?
Hassan
he's
probably.
He's declaring.
But Trayvon Henderson for Ohio State's the best running back in the Big Ten. That's not no.
You overrate everyone that's on your team.
You haven't even watched. You don't even know who Trayvon Henderson is. I'm not having this conversation.
I watched him 3 times this year when I wasn't watching.
You watched him 3 times. You don't even
3 times.
What number does he wear?
Fuck, you think I don't even know what number CJ Stroud wears. But I know who he is.
Yo, I ain't having no more conversations with you.
I don't even know Chris Olave's number.
I ain't having these conversations with you then. We can't have these conversations, dog.
Just saying he will be the best running back in the Big Ten next year.
That's crazy. You don't even Trayvon Henderson is the best one.
Uh,
Yo, B Hub, why, bro? Why are we forced to do this? Why we
you're
have to do
not
this podcast so long?
forced. You two could
Why
Well,
couldn't
do.
you do
we're
what I
not
do? I
forced.
don't even know who Trayvon Henderson is. Just be like, I don't know.
Oh, I know who he is. He's their freshman running back that has been playing great for them.
Is he on Penn State?
No, Ohio State.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah. Ohio State. I thought you were talking about him because he was on your team. But Ohio State. I will look
I'm not
into it.
biased like Hayden. I don't do that stuff.
Fuck Ohio State.
Yeah, I was confusing you with Hayden.
No.
My bad.
No. If I'm going to hate any team in the Big Ten, it's going to be Minnesota more than Ohio State.
I hope Minnesota beats you by at least 30 next year.
I will fucking go on a bigger rant than you heard me go on the other day. For the people who do not know, these guys heard me go insane after Wisconsin lost to Minnesota on Saturday.
I know this running back. I just didn't remember his name. Yeah, he's good.
I'm just saying Braylon Allen will be better next year.
You tell me why then, since you can make that take.
Because Braylon Allen has been producing great numbers for us, and he's a 1,000-yard rusher, and he only did not even start running for us until week 4 of the season. He did great for some top defenses. You got, of course, the Iowa defense, which is underratedly good. He did decent versus Michigan, who literally just held Ohio State to made them their bitch. And he's showing that he's a great runner. These announcers are comparing the man to Derrick Henry, and I'm not even lying on this one. I'm not even lying. You can look it up. People are comparing him to Derrick Henry, and he is showing that he is a patient runner. He's showing that he has the potential to be the best running back in the Big Ten. Just that people aren't recognizing.
I'm just saying, this Trayvon Henderson guy looks like that guy.
Braylon Allen is that guy.
Trayvon Henderson's player. So tell me what Braylon Allen does better than Trayvon Henderson, because everything you just named, Trayvon Henderson is a true freshman who also just started running the football for Ohio State pretty deep into the season. And he also, might I add, he also puts up 1,000 yards. So and you don't even know who Trayvon Henderson is.
I
do like, by the way,
this is another instance where I actually like a player, but I have to kind of talk bad about him to get into Hayden said. Not talk bad, but I have to debate against him because I do like what I've seen from this Braylon Allen kid.
You said Trayvon Henderson.
But Hayden, again, a guy. He's even going to be more biased because I guess he went to high school with this guy. Another take that Hayden is just biased about, and we cannot. And this is it. I am no longer having a conversation of you having a take that's based off biasness. So basically, since all your takes are biased, I can't have conversations with you about sports debates if you're just gonna be biased all the time. So that is the end of this conversation. So now, if we would like to move on, I don't want to hear.
What week did he start?
Hayden, I don't care anymore. I'm not arguing something. I'm not. I'm done. This is a waste of time. I'm not gonna sit here and explain to you what a good running back looks like when he plays in the same conference as you. And for you to say that someone is better than him, you should already know much about the other guy. But it's okay. Look, if that's what you want to do, bro, go ahead, bro. But I'm just telling you, when Trayvon Henderson potentially wins the Heisman, hey man, don't. Just hey, bro.
This episode, and MG called it.
It's just crazy.
All right, MG.
Yeah.
So, what do you have planning for the next few days on your YouTube channel until the next episode?
Sixers stuff and probably college stuff. And I did put a poll out on my chat on my community tab, so everyone could go look at the poll that I put out and and answer the question there. And I'll be doing stuff, to keep creating content.
How long is that poll up for?
The poll's gonna be up forever. I mean, I'm not taking it down.
You know what I mean? Like, how long do they have to vote till?
They look, and I mean, it's not really no time limit. I just want to get a feedback. Yeah, man, I'm looking at some Travion Henderson stats.
Him and Taylor has very. I mean, him and Allen.
Look at that guy.
Him and Allen has very similar stats. Like it is very similar. Like, I'm just saying. But B-Hub, what do you have coming up for your channel? Because you've been a little inactive recently.
You're the one talking, Mister. I'm retired.
Bitch, I'm retired. Fuck off.
But I should have an upload up before Thursday Night Football when Dallas faces New Orleans Saints. It's not going to be a very good game, but I'll be watching it because it's my team. Trevor Siemian versus Dak Prescott.
I swear.
Or Taysom Hill. Or Taysom
I swear
Hill
if
might
you
be
lose to Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian, you're never going to hear the end of it.
Well, I'll listen to you because we do a podcast with this guy who doesn't know anything about sports.
Hey, the Jonathan Taylor take I may have been wrong on, but the Braylon Allen take I'm not wrong on.
You are wrong, and you just don't know that you're wrong because you don't know anything about the other player. You are wrong. No, because now I know I said I was done, but you gotta say this. Say I don't know much about Travion Henderson, and I made a take based off of the only running back I care about in the Big Ten, other than Kenneth Walker. Well, Kenneth Walker won't be there next year, but because you made that take because you didn't know much.
I know that Braylon Allen is better than Travion Henderson.
You don't know that because you don't know a lot about Travion Henderson. You don't.
You know what?
You don't, Hayden.
I'm going to come back next Wednesday episode. And we're going to...
No, and you're going to be biased again because I know I'm going to get the same repetitive thing. You will be biased.
Facts. I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm not dealing with it.
I want to get this all out because after this episode... If I want everyone that's watching, I want B-Hub and I'll tell Isaiah this. If I ever debate with Hayden over a biased take again, please tell me to stop because from now on out, if Hayden is obviously biased on a take or he's saying a take and he doesn't even know about the other guy he's debating against, make sure that I never debate him again because it's the most pointless and useless debate because Hayden, I got to admit, bro, you're just stupid. You just stupid, and you're taking.
He's pretty much just a brick wall that just responds with the same thing.
I have a take you cannot call me biased on.
And I don't want to hear any more takes. I'm done with takes for the day.
Is not next year, but the year after.
I'm definitely myself.
RB1 for Green Bay. By the end of next year, he will be RB1.
Huh?
Shut up, B-Hub.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're deaf. You can't
hear me. You did not say Aaron Jones will not be the starter in 2 years.
He won't be. He'll be A.J. Dillon.
It's common sense. In 2 years, he's not going to be the starter. It's common sense, dude.
You're not right.
It's common sense. You draft a guy in the second round. You want him to play. In 2 years.
I said 2 years, and by the end of next year, A.J. Dillon will be the RB1 for Green Bay.
He already looking like he is, and you just said you just said that take to try to redeem yourself, Hayden. I know what your tactics are. There's a lot of people out. There's a lot of Hayden. I see through your lines, bro. You just made that take to try to make yourself look smart. Just stop. If you just stop,
that take is just straight up common sense.
Stop the bleeding.
I'm glad you showed that. You
stop the bleeding by not making any more takes for the rest of the episode. That's the best way you can stop the bleeding, not by making random takes that we don't care about to redeem yourself. Just stop the bleeding.
That's like Hayden saying Christian Yelich is better than fucking Mike Trout.
I may have said that in 2018. I may have actually said that in 2018, but I'm wrong. I will admit now I am wrong. Because I knew nothing about baseball then, okay? But I do not believe that anymore.
I trust the best player in the last decade. What?
B-Hub, I never even watched baseball outside of Brewer Contact. I had no idea who Mike Trout was. I heard people saying he's the best in the league right now. I was like, no, it's Christian Yelich, me being the dumb Brewer fan I was at the time. I know it's Mike Trout.
See? This proves your biasness. You pretty much just told us you're biased.
Well, I literally only knew one
thing. We already knew it.
And I only knew one thing at the time then. And it was
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You only knew one thing at the time. So why can't you do that? Why can't you just admit that with the take we just had about Travion Henderson? Why can't you just admit that?
'Cause
You
I
could have
actually
literally
looked,
just
and
admit.
still
I
believe
even gave
Allen's
you a
better.
chance to say I don't know much about the other guy. Why couldn't you just admit that? Like, why can't you just admit when you know what? I kept saying I'm done, and I'm done. I'm done.
He's
Fine.
I
trying his
keep doing
hardest.
I keep doing it. You're not a knowledgeable sports fan, and that's the end. And I appreciate everyone for watching. A non-knowledgeable sports fan like Hayden, I will no longer debate him if he has retarded takes that are clearly based off his biased opinions. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all I have to say for this episode
I
because
just
I'm
want to
about done
say
with his
you are
retarded
going to be
takes.
happy next year when the Packers are shit. And
That's
I
it.
can't make
So
a
I'm
stupid
done.
take about
Goodbye.
the Packers like I did in the past because we won't have Devontae or Aaron Rodgers. Woo! But
Oh,
yeah,
B-Hub, just like he shits on Kevin King when he's having a pretty good
hey, I
season, and
admitted
every
he was wrong. I
Remember,
looked and I admitted he was wrong.
I'll,
I will
I'll,
admit
I'll
that.
all these takes you make. It's just I can't believe I didn't realize all these takes you make off of your biased opinion.
Because it took you that
I
long.
should.
Bro, you
Yeah,
should have
yeah,
known
dude.
when I said Bart Starr was the GOAT over a year ago. That's what you
But,
should
ladies
have
and
known.
gentlemen, I appreciate you watching this episode with a guy who is clearly not knowledgeable off sports. He just goes everything based off his biased opinion. I appreciate everyone. I'm sorry that you have to kind of deal with this kind of stuff. And I want to say, if Jonathan Taylor somehow sees this, I do not hate you, bro. I actually really like you as a player. But
Jonathan
when
Taylor,
he
if
just
you see
says
this, I
things,
love you, no homo.
when he says things, when he says things off of his biased opinion, that's what makes it worse. If he said it and he was actually being a little bit reasonable, I would agree. Or not agree, but I would have more respect for the take. But since I know he's saying it off of a biased opinion, I can't respect it. But like I said, I appreciate everyone who has to go through and watch this episode, and I just very grateful that you watched this guy who just makes horrible takes. And he makes takes, and then he won't say like a bad take for like a couple of months or a couple of episodes, and then he'll try to come back with a bigger take to see if he's right this time. But
you
it's
know
all
what?
based off his
Doug
biased
Henry
opinion.
is not better than AJ Dillon.
Who?
Like, so guys, listen to this. Look, he's biased, all right, and that's it. But you won't get biasness from me. You won't get biasness from B Hub. We'll all be honest on players that we like and teams that we like,
B-Hub,
because that's all we can give is our honest opinion and entertain y'all. So
Honest
that's what we're gonna do.
opinion.
B-Hub, I have
And
a question for you.
Yeah.
Who would you take, non-biased, AJ Dillon, Tony Pollard? Because I want to know if we will have a debate in the future.
This is tough.
I know, that's why I brought it up. Because if we think differently, that could be a debate we could have in the future.
It's pretty close in
It
my
is.
opinion because Tony Pollard's a more well-rounded player,
I'll give you
just
that.
like CMC is to Jonathan Taylor, but you didn't think that. But
the thing is,
AJ Dillon is like a power back, so I'll take Pollard because I know he can do everything.
the only
well.
thing AJ Dillon can't do, from what I've been seeing, is his elusiveness. He has been a great receiver for us. If you do not know, out in the past game, he has taken that huge step this year.
they had pretty much the same amount of rush yards.
Tony,
Receiving yards, I mean, we know who's a better
yeah,
receiver. But
I'll
that's
admit
it.
that it's Tony Pollard, but AJ Dillon has had a decent
I'm
receiving
done with the
yards.
episode, guys. I don't want to hear Hayden any more of his takes, even if they're good. I've had enough today, so goodbye.
All right, but B.O.B., you want to say anything before we shut off the episode? Just me. Hello, Premier Chat. I'm your host of this episode.
In the
Hayden.
damn episode, bro. Fuck.
I am fucker! I'm the host of this episode, Hayden, and I just want to say thank you all so much for watching the video to this point. I'm sorry if you guys disagree with my takes and I did hurt your brain. I'm sorry about that, but go subscribe to MG's channel, B-Hub's channel. Link will be in the description. If you guys know, MG did not put my Twitter link in the description, so go follow me there if you want to talk to me about why I retired from YouTube and stuff like that. But I'm your host, Hayden, signing off. Stay cheesy, fuckers.